I already know y'all like, okay, he back on his BS. Nah, yo. What's going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we're back with another VeVe and Ecomi video. And this one, we're going to be talking, obviously, about the OMI token. And we're going to be talking about the whole $10 OMI. Since this OMI token pumped, like everybody always brings it up. Everybody always asking me, so, is $10 OMI back on the table? Are we back going to the moon? Things like that. So people always really want to know my perspective on if I believe that the token can still go to $10. I mean, anything can happen. The likeliness of something happening is a completely different thing. So that's what we're going to be talking about, man. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So, one thing that doesn't get mentioned when we talk about the whole $10 OMI token prediction and all of that stuff, one thing that never actually gets mentioned is the fact that there was criteria that needed to be met for that to even be possible. There was always criteria that needed to be met for that to be possible. And the criteria is never mentioned, just the number amount. And because that's all people actually care about. It's easier to say, oh, this guy says $10. This is amazing. Or this guy says $10. He's crazy. He's a fool. Don't listen. It's easier to say that than it is to actually go through, understand the points, why that is possible, and to actually attack those points and be like, oh, this point right here, why it could be $10? Well, I mean, yeah, why it could be $10? That point is not real. It's like it's harder to do that and actually, sound like you know what you're talking about, because you wouldn't know what you're talking about trying to disprove a lot of the stuff that people try to shoot down. So let's actually dive in. So one of the biggest criteria that VeVe has said themselves is that they were going for hundreds of millions of users. So at the point where you have hundreds of millions of users, listen, this is probably one of the biggest things. One of the biggest things that would have to be, you know how we have these major events that burns a ton of OMI, like, oh, with the Disney drop or something, like when something big happens and the OMI token burns is just crazy, has been crazy, like big drops or something. Like at the point where it's not just certain days and certain times and certain drops and certain things that's burning the OMI token, but we have a metaverse out that's working. We have 100 million people. We have people from all over the world. That way, we have high OMI burns at the times where this side of the world would be awake, and then we still have those same high OMI burns at the same time when we're asleep and the other side of the world is awake. Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like right now we have to wait for these peaks for the OMI token to actually be burned. With where they said they were going, we wouldn't have to wait for peaks. Everything would be a peak. Now, obviously, there would be peaks that's outside of even that range, but everything, like the peaks that we see now, that would just be consistency at all times of the day. When we're asleep, it would be burning like that. When we're awake, it would be burning like that. And that is what would be required to start pushing towards the $10 OMI token. Like the burns would have to be insane. And that's actually what they said they were going for. They said they were going to get hundreds of millions of users. They said all the transactions on the project would be using the OMI token. They said the OMI token would have a lot more use cases. Now, I don't know. It doesn't look like we'll ever see a day where the OMI token is just the currency that you need to buy everything on VeVe or something drastic like that, because obviously at that point, the sky is the limit. But we do know that they're now starting to put more utility in. And if they can actually get to that 100 million user mark and then keep people interested enough and interactive enough and like if it's a reason for them to stick around and use the project, use the platform and burn this OMI token, it can still go up fairly high. Now, it also is going to be dependent on the metaverse. How good is the metaverse? How often are people in it? Are people using it? Like, because the OMI token is something from VeVe. So let's say Disney comes out with their metaverse. We can take our assets. They're interoperable. We can take our assets from VeVe and go ahead and put them on Disney. Let's say that that's what happens. what incentive do people have to actually keep their stuff on VeVe, and why would they keep this and let it stay on VeVe? Like, what's the point? If VeVe is boring, like if VeVe's metaverse doesn't compare to Disney's metaverse, or let's say some other partner that's VeVe approved, some other licensor drops a metaverse and they allow interoperability. If all these other interoperable metaverses comes with more benefits than playing on VeVe or spending your time on VeVe, you're going to take your assets and move them over to the other platforms so you can actually enjoy some experience surrounding your NFTs. So we can easily see a point where VeVe becomes more so irrelevant, and VeVe is more so like a Quid. Quid was just a marketplace. You buy something on Quid, then you can take it and transfer it somewhere else. Like, what VeVe actually sold us on wasn't it's being a marketplace, but it being an attraction. It sold us on what you could actually do with these NFTs, the experience. Like, how fun is it going to be? How, we was told that what we were seeing was just a gift shop. And there was going to be like a whole theme park. There was going to be a whole Disney World, and all we was looking at this whole time was the gift shop. Now, I mean, they're hiring a team. Like, you got to think about it. VeVe, they said I think that there's like over 100 new employees or something like that. It was some crazy number that I heard. So you have to think about it. In terms of VeVe just being a marketplace with a team that big, the marketplace is pretty much already built. They're like, most of the stuff, yes, there's some things that they need to work on here and there, but most of this stuff, most of the little stuff is already built. Like, if it was just going to be a marketplace, that functionality and stuff is built. Why would they be hiring a team that massive? So when it comes down to if they have the goals and plans to actually build the things that they say that they're going to, I don't see any other reason to be hiring this amount of people. I really don't. So it would seem as though that is still what they're going for. If you look at their hiring moves that they're making, if you look at how big the team is becoming, just to manage, if VeVe was just going to stay as is, maybe a few more programs dropped here and there, but stay as is and just drop new IP, they don't need a team this big to do that. But they're constantly hiring, they're constantly expanding their team, which makes me believe that they're still going for the same goals and dreams that they've had, and now they're actually starting to deliver. Now that the OMI token has been, like, they actually, I started watching the video, the reaction to it is going to come out soon, but I started watching the video where I noticed Ecomi has actually put the OMI token in their name. So now Ecomi's putting it in their name. Now they're adding the utility that they said they were going to add. It's a lot of reasons to be bullish on the OMI token at this point in time. So just know, I just need you to understand that this was never just going to, it's going to be a massive pump token. But the thing is, when VeVe first came out and the OMI token first started pumping, the hype of Dogecoin being able to do what it did, like, it was some Dogecoin hype in there. Like, shitty tokens was pumping all the time. So why couldn't this token have tied to all this major IP pump? So with all these shit coins that actually pumps, I would not be surprised to see some type of Dogecoin type of style pump when it comes down to the OMI token at some point in the future. But I wouldn't just solely invest off of that and base everything off of that, because you cannot plan for something like that. But out of everything that has pumped that does nothing, the OMI token, I believe, has a reason to pump. And with the team that they're trying to put behind this project, I believe that they will be able to make a metaverse that's going to be, it's going to be a great experience. I think that it could potentially be better than any of their licensors, something, because all we have right now really for the NFTs is AR. And then the VeVeVerse is out. I'm going to be checking that out as well, like giving you all my thoughts on the VeVeVerse also, because I haven't watched the interview. I know that an interview has been done on the VeVeVerse. So I do want to hear some of the things that's been going on with the VeVeVerse. I do want to get a little bit more information, be a little bit more educated on what's happening with the VeVeVerse. But yeah, at the end of the day, with the right metaverse that's actually fun, people are using it, burning OMI around the clock, and then it keeps expanding. They keep expanding the team, keep adding more to it. With 100 million users, with burns constantly happening around the clock every day, all day, and not just on major drop days, like with certain levels of consistency throughout the burns, I believe we can see some type of crazy OMI token price still. The thing that I have doubted and don't know if I believe in is if the team is going to deliver. But the more that they keep delivering, like that's the thing. I've been at a point where I was fully all in. I believed everything that they were saying because they was delivering. When it came down to the IP and all the teasers and all this stuff, they was delivering everything. Everything has been delivered that they was teasing except Pokemon. So at the point where that has happened, you have to really be realistic and say, yo, this company is making everything they say happen. But now it's been fast forward some years. We've seen that nothing has happened with the OMI token. We've seen some of their flaws, some of their bad side. So now it's like, if to still be that same person who thinks that they only ever deliver, you would have to be a goofball to be that to still think that. But at the point where we fast forward 3 years from now, and they have delivered more utility to the OMI token, they have delivered more in terms of VeVe, they have actually continued to deliver. The anime vertical is out, all these other things, the metaverse is flourishing. At that point, that is when you see, okay, they had a track record of delivering, then it got shaky for a little bit, now they're back delivering. So this company, like, that's when you would see me again at my most bullish, because they'll actually have a proven track record of keeping their word and doing what they say that they're going to do. At the point where somebody's lying to me, I don't care how cultish this community is, I'm watching you lie every single day. Ain't nobody sitting here, oh, be patient, take your time. Stop lying. I'll be patient, but don't say you're ready for something that you're clearly not. Just let me know, oh, it's going to take more time than we thought. I'm sorry about that, but we'll give you more information when we can. Like that, I'm that type of person. But you sitting here, 4 exchanges, a year later, no exchange. It's like, no, don't lie to me. Like that, I'm that type of person. Just don't lie to me. You don't have to be honest with me. You don't have to tell me exactly what's going on. You don't have to, like, I don't need to know, oh, this lawsuit and that the legal battles is making OMI tough to do something with. Like, I don't need that level of transparency. Just let me know some struggles have come up. It's going to be delayed. We're not going to be able to do what we thought we were going to do. Give us time. Please believe in us. We still have the same intentions. That's all I care about, your intentions. Your intentions. And when someone is lying to me, I don't feel there's any way, shape, or form your intentions are good if you have a reason to lie to me. So yeah, I'm just that type of person. I believe in truth and honesty. Like, I don't need all the details, but I believe in truth and honesty. And if you're honest, I can support you. I can stand behind you, but not at the point where you're proven to be untrustworthy. So yeah, like, this is my thought on the $10 OMI token, man. It's still more than possible. There's a lot of catalysts. There's going to need to be, they also said, one of the things I didn't touch on, they said that the OMI token would be used a lot of places outside of just the VeVe app. So the OMI token would be a valuable token many places. I don't know if that would go against, the current crypto regulations. I don't know if that's still on the table. I don't know. It's just so much that we don't know. So we still got to give them time, but we've been seeing some good movement from them. We've been seeing, well, at least a good article. We've seen a good article that sounds promising. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this go. I'm looking forward to being wrong about this company being incompetent. I want to see this company start to reverse this trajectory that has gone on. But yeah, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. That's pretty much it, y'all. Drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace out, fam.